Imagine a profound shift, a quiet metamorphosis happening within our world. Carl Jung, a titan of psychological insight, revealed that truly awakened souls are not vanishing from society, but rather embarking on a sacred, purposeful retreat. This isn't an escape, it's an evolution. When the inner eye opens to genuine consciousness, the cacophony of unconscious social patterns becomes not just dissonant, but psychologically unsustainable. Yet this graceful withdrawal is not an end, but a vital pause, a chrysalis phase serving a magnificent purpose. This period of solitude is a sacred cocoon, a vital recharging that empowers awakened individuals to eventually re-emerge, not just for themselves, but to offer a profound, authentic connection to those genuinely yearning for deeper relationships. We are witnessing a silent, unacknowledged exodus, a soulful migration. The most psychologically mature individuals around you, perhaps a colleague whose quiet wisdom you admire, a family member whose presence feels different, a friend who seems more centered, are gently withdrawing. This isn't born of anger, resentment, or a sense of superiority. It stems from what Jung termed consciousness fatigue, an exhaustion born from navigating worlds that operate on fundamentally different frequencies. Over a century ago, Jung foresaw this, understanding that true psychological awakening creates a dimensional incompatibility. It's like a symphony conductor suddenly hearing every instrument out of tune, or an artist seeing colors and textures in dimensions others haven't yet perceived. You find yourself operating from a vastly expanded level of awareness, distinct from the collective social environment. To consciously hold that expansive awareness amidst a sea of unconscious patterns demands an immense, often invisible, psychological energy. If you've felt this undeniable pull towards solitude, a profound need for quiet reflection, or found social interactions inexplicably draining in ways they never were before, Jung offers a comforting truth. You are not becoming antisocial. You are not flawed. Instead, you are responding to an ancient, archetypal call, a profound pattern woven into the very fabric of human development. Every soul embarking on the sacred journey of individuation must navigate this consciousness burden. This phase isn't about becoming isolated, it's about awakening to the truth that profound insight often precedes a period of necessary separation. Let us be clear, true psychological development is not a shortcut to an easier life, it is an invitation to a richer, more complex, and ultimately more authentic existence. Once you begin to perceive the intricate tapestry of unconscious patterns, both within yourself and reflected in others, that vision cannot be unseen. This creates what Jung, in his most intimate journals, called the weight of seeing. Imagine yourself at a lively dinner party, vibrant with animated political discussions. You listen, but through the lens of your inner work, you discern a deeper current. You recognize that many fervent political opinions are, at their core, powerful psychological projections. Individuals externalizing their unaddressed internal conflicts onto societal issues. You see, with compassionate clarity, how deeply held childhood wounds subtly sculpt worldviews. How an unintegrated shadow determines perceived adversaries. You aren't judging, you've walked that very path yourself. But you can no longer authentically engage in the unconscious drama, for you now perceive the profound, underlying psychological dynamics at play, like watching a puppet show and seeing the strings. Jung famously declared, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." This profound truth, however, often carries with it a hidden cost, as revealed in his personal correspondence, a profound existential loneliness. It is akin to being fully awake in a room where everyone else is deep in slumber, speaking in a dream language you no longer understand. Jung's own tumultuous psychological crisis taught him this lesson firsthand. As his consciousness expanded during his courageous confrontation with the unconscious depths, everyday social interaction became increasingly taxing. This wasn't born of arrogance, but from the sheer immense energetic expenditure required to constantly bridge vastly different levels of awareness, a constant translation effort. This fundamental divergence explains why awakened souls frequently describe feeling like benevolent aliens in their own familiar social environments. They speak a different psychological language, perceive dimensions of reality others are yet to glimpse, and operate from fundamentally altered assumptions about what truly matters and what constitutes reality. Each interaction often demands an internal performance, a pretense that you don't perceive what you see, that you don't comprehend the deeper currents flowing beneath the surface. It is a constant, subtle masking of truth. This continuous translation effort is profoundly exhausting, leading to an insidious energy drain within unconscious environments. When your consciousness expands, you become, as Jung's patient files meticulously describe, an unconscious material processor. It's as if your energetic field develops a new sensitivity, like a highly tuned antenna. You are no longer merely navigating your own inner landscape. You are automatically picking up, filtering, and processing the subtle, often dense, unconscious projections, unintegrated shadows, and emotional residue that others unknowingly emit. Consider the energetic impact when a truly conscious individual steps into an unconscious space. The projected emotions of others can feel disturbingly like your own. The shadow material that people painstakingly avoid within themselves becomes vividly apparent to you. The myriad persona performances everyone maintains to navigate social situations generate a ceaseless psychological static. And the collective anxiety surrounding unspoken truths or unacknowledged fears saturates the very atmosphere, palpable and heavy. Jung, in his precise clinical notes, termed this phenomenon psychological contamination. Your newly awakened heightened sensitivity, a profound gift in conscious environments, paradoxically transforms into a liability in unconscious ones. Imagine Eleanor, a therapist who, after years of profound shadow work, found herself plagued by a mysterious exhaustion following routine team meetings. Through careful analysis, she uncovered a powerful truth. She wasn't just processing her own internal world. Her refined consciousness was unconsciously absorbing and filtering the unspoken tensions, the hidden projections, and the intricate shadow dynamics of her entire team. Eleanor wasn't trying to fix anyone, nor was she actively seeking out these energies. Her awareness had simply become so exquisitely tuned that this unconscious material felt like an inescapable psychological static, a pervasive hum she could no longer filter out or ignore. Yet another profound layer of truth emerges from Jung's intimate correspondence. Once you have truly touched, even glimpsed, your authentic self, the act of performing social personas transforms from a subtle adaptation into a genuinely painful experience. Before awakening, you could unconsciously don any mask, play any role the situation demanded without much inner friction. But after this profound shift, attempting to revert to persona, performance evokes what Jung privately termed existential nausea. It's a deep, visceral discomfort. You might find yourself in sterile board meetings, feigning belief that your corporate persona holds ultimate significance, even as your soul knows it's merely a carefully constructed mask. You attend family gatherings, playing roles that ceased to fit years ago, like a tragic actor trapped in an old play. You might even find yourself maintaining friendships once founded on shared, unconscious patterns, realizing you have now outgrown the very patterns that initially bonded you. This transformation is never about superiority. It is, at its profound core, about psychological integrity, a sacred commitment to your authentic self. Your soul simply will not permit you to betray your genuine development merely to uphold social comfort. Jung's personal journals lay bare his own arduous struggle. I can no longer pretend to be the proper Swiss psychiatrist when I have seen the depths that psychiatry refuses to acknowledge. For him, the performance felt like a slow death of the spirit. If you resonate with this deep exhaustion from environments demanding persona performance, you understand the profound yet necessary cost of psychological authenticity. It is the courage to be real, even when it means standing apart. The hermit phase, Jung's archetypal withdrawal. This profound withdrawal is not pathological, it is, in fact, archetypal, a timeless pattern etched into the collective human psyche. Across every culture throughout recorded history, Jung's anthropological research uncovered the universal hermit phase, a sacred and necessary stage of deep psychological and spiritual development. The archetype of the hermit arises universally precisely because the journey of individuation, the process of becoming your whole, unique self, absolutely demands periods of intentional separation from collective influences. You cannot genuinely integrate your shadow aspects, those hidden parts of yourself, while simultaneously being pressured by society to maintain a nice or acceptable persona. You cannot truly discover your authentic voice if you are perpetually adapting to the expectations of others. Jung's own profound experience at Bollingen, his self-built tower by the lake, stands as a testament to this necessity. Those years were not a leisurely retreat. They were, for him, a matter of psychological survival. He required that sacred distance from collective consciousness to cultivate and solidify his individual consciousness, needing separation from the projections of others to truly plunge into and comprehend his own unfathomable depths. Through meticulous analysis of hundreds of cases, Jung illuminated a clear progression, distinct phases that awakening individuals invariably experience on this transformative path. Phase 1, the dawning of recognition. You begin to perceive with startling clarity the true energetic cost of normal social interaction. A deep, instinctual craving for solitude emerges, a need for quiet spaciousness to genuinely process experiences. You start recognizing unconscious patterns in others and in yourself that you are no longer willing to unconsciously enable or participate in. It's like waking up in a crowded room and suddenly noticing the immense, energetic hum you were previously oblivious to. Phase 2, the art of selective disengagement. This is where discernment becomes your guiding light. You grow increasingly attuned to which environments truly nourish your soul versus those that relentlessly drain it. With gentle resolve, you begin to gracefully decline obligations that demand the performance of personas you have profoundly outgrown. You consciously begin to seek out kindred spirits, others who resonate and operate from similar expanded levels of awareness, building bridges to conscious connection. Phase 3, integration and the conscious return. After a sufficient, soul-sustaining period of solitude and deep inner integration, you begin to re-engage with social environments, yet from a fundamentally transformed position. The old anxieties of fitting in or seeking approval have dissolved. Instead, you offer something far more precious, your authentic presence, a genuine offering to those who are truly ready to receive it. This return is not a retreat to the old self, but an emergence of the newly integrated being. What Jung's extensive case studies unequivocally reveal is a crucial truth. The hermit phase is never a permanent escape. It is rather a sacred period of preparation, a profound incubation. You are not abandoning society, you are in fact cultivating something essential that society desperately needs, but does not yet possess the awareness to recognize. Jung's breakthrough insight was this: every individual undergoing genuine spiritual awakening follows this precise cyclical pattern: withdrawal, profound transformation, and ultimately a conscious return. But they return profoundly changed. They can no longer participate unconsciously in the old dramas, but they can and do offer conscious, illuminated alternatives to those who are truly ready to receive them. Consider the remarkable journey of Dr. Heinrich Waber, one of Jung's analysans. He seemingly vanished from academic life for 18 months. His colleagues, observing his absence, naturally assumed he had suffered a breakdown. Yet he had experienced something far grander, a breakthrough. In the fertile ground of solitude, he integrated profound insights about the human psyche, insights that would have been utterly impossible to achieve while maintaining his rigid academic persona. When he eventually returned, he didn't just resume his work, he revolutionized his entire field, but only after that necessary period of withdrawal allowed for complete and unhindered integration. The return: how conscious souls re-engage. The most pivotal aspect of this sacred withdrawal is its eventual re-engagement. Jung's meticulously kept clinical files consistently document that authentic hermits do not remain in perpetual isolation. When they return, they have cultivated what Jung's notes describe as conscious participation, a profound state of engagement without absorption. He coined the term border dwellers to perfectly encapsulate these re-emergent souls. They are like lighthouses on the shore, firmly rooted, yet casting their light across the vast ocean of society, present yet not consumed by its currents. They have mastered the delicate art of engaging with the world without losing the integrity of their inner selves, contributing their unique gifts without compromising their hard-won authenticity. Border dwellers operate from a place of profound conscious choice, rather than being swept away by unconscious reaction. They can gracefully attend the lively dinner party, navigate the complexities of a work meeting, or embrace the warmth of a family gathering, yet they are no longer automatically ensnared or pulled into the collective's unconscious dynamics. Their presence becomes a subtle catalyst for change. They might be the innovators who create businesses that courageously prioritize the well-being and growth of their employees over mere profit maximization. They may be artists who craft expressions that speak directly to the soul's deepest yearnings, far beyond fleeting surface entertainment. They offer healing modalities that delve into root transformation rather than merely managing symptoms. They are the architects of communities built upon authentic connection and shared consciousness, rather than the fragile bonds of unconscious habits. They pioneer lifestyle approaches that beautifully serve both individual development and the holistic health of our planet. Jung's correspondence unveils an utterly fascinating truth. After deep integration, conscious individuals become selectively visible. They are, in essence, invisible to those who are still operating from a place of seeking unconscious validation or superficial engagement. Yet they become brilliantly clear, like a beacon, to those who are truly ready for authentic connection and deeper resonance. This profound paradox explains why awakened people often describe living in two worlds simultaneously. They may appear to exist on the margins of conventional society, yet they are deeply, powerfully connected to others walking similar developmental paths, forming an invisible web of conscious community. Marcus, a business consultant who gracefully navigated this entire cycle, eloquently describes his experience. I appear to participate in corporate culture normally, but I am, in truth, operating from completely different principles. I offer conscious leadership to those who are receptive to it, while remaining subtly invisible to those who would resist such a shift. Instead of striving to awaken the masses prematurely, these returned hermits wisely focus their energy on what Jung termed conscious micro-communities. These are potent small groups deeply committed to authentic development and genuine, heart-centered relationships. These communities manifest in myriad forms: professional networks forged on integrity rather than superficial advancement, circles of friends dedicated to real, vulnerable conversation rather than mere social performance, spiritual groups centered on practical, grounded integration rather than escapist fantasies, and family relationships profoundly transformed by authentic communication rather than the rigid maintenance of old roles. If you find yourself naturally attracting more conscious connections, you are already building authentic community, a vital cornerstone for the future. The collective function: why society desperately needs conscious hermits. This conscious withdrawal serves not merely individual development, but the grand tapestry of collective evolution itself. Jung's profound sociological observations reveal a liberating truth. Those who seem to disappear are not abandoning society. They are, in fact, meticulously preparing something absolutely essential for its future. Jung's deep research into group dynamics demonstrated that consciousness, like a subtle current, operates contagiously, but only when it is fully integrated within an individual. Half-conscious attempts to wake up others prematurely often paradoxically generate more unconsciousness. However, truly individuated people, those who have completed their deep inner work, naturally transmit awareness simply through their authentic presence. When a soul has genuinely completed its integration, their very being becomes a living testament, demonstrating possibilities that others had not yet even conceived. They are not preaching or proselytizing. They are simply existing from an elevated level of awareness that makes alternative, more conscious ways of being visible and tangible to those who are truly ready to perceive them. Jung's timeless wisdom echoes, "Your vision becomes clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." His anthropological studies profoundly revealed that awakened individuals function as a cultural innovation laboratory, bravely developing new forms of consciousness, new paradigms of living that mainstream culture isn't yet ready for, but will inevitably, profoundly need. During these periods of sacred withdrawal, conscious individuals are not idle. They are pioneering groundbreaking innovations. They are forging relationship models that elevate authenticity above superficial performance, daring to create economic approaches that truly serve life itself rather than exploitation. They are fearlessly exploring healing modalities that address root causes, not just fleeting symptoms. They are developing holistic lifestyle approaches that beautifully sustain both individual flourishing and planetary well-being. They are building communication practices that courageously honor both uncompromising truth and profound compassion. When the larger culture eventually awakens and becomes ready for these vital innovations, the prototypes will already be exquisitely tested, refined, and readily available, waiting to transform our world. Jung, with prescient foresight, prophesied that humanity would inevitably confront profound collective challenges, necessitating a widespread psychological maturation. He firmly believed that individuals who, during times of relative stability, courageously withdrew to cultivate their consciousness would emerge as indispensable guides during periods of intense collective transition. We are undeniably witnessing the unfolding of this very prediction in our current era. Jung's brilliant analysis of cultural change identified that conscious withdrawal generates what biologists term evolutionary pressure on unconscious systems. When awakened individuals gracefully cease participating in dysfunctional patterns, those entrenched patterns are faced with a stark choice. They either adapt and evolve, or they inevitably collapse. Organizations find their most innovative, heart-centered employees drawn to more conscious alternatives. Relationships built upon unconscious dynamics gently dissolve when one person steadfastly refuses to participate in the old, unexamined ways. Political movements lose the allegiance of supporters who can now see clearly through their psychological projections. This dynamic creates a powerful selection pressure, compelling more conscious alternatives to emerge and flourish. Thus, the withdrawal is not abandonment. It is the deep, natural, and necessary process that elegantly encourages cultural evolution towards ever greater awareness and profound transformation. Integration practices, navigating withdrawal with conscious grace. For those who deeply feel this inexorable pull towards withdrawal, Jung's therapeutic notes offer invaluable guidance, providing specific, powerful practices to navigate this profound phase constructively rather than succumbing to unhealthy isolation or the pitfalls of spiritual inflation. Jung's meticulous case studies draw a crucial distinction between healthy discernment, recognizing and disengaging from energy-draining environments, and unhealthy judgment of individuals operating unconsciously. The paramount insight here is that every soul is precisely where they need to be on their unique developmental journey. When you find yourself feeling superior to those you perceive as unconscious, you are ironically reflecting an aspect of your own unintegrated unconsciousness. True awareness embraces the understanding that awakening unfolds on individual timelines and can never be forced. A powerful practice is to consistently ask yourself, is my withdrawal stemming from a place of genuine wisdom and self-preservation, or is it merely a form of judgment or avoidance of the inherent discomfort of human connection? Instead of advocating for complete social withdrawal, Jung's treatment notes wisely recommend selective engagement, a conscious, discerning choice of which environments and relationships genuinely support your spiritual and psychological development and which relentlessly deplete it. This sacred protocol of selective engagement involves intentionally limiting your time in environments that demand the performance of outdated personas. It means actively seeking out individuals and groups who resonate with your expanded awareness, fostering connections that truly nourish your soul. It entails courageously creating clear boundaries around discussions that trigger unconscious projection patterns, protecting your energetic field. And critically, it means investing your precious energy into relationships that possess the capacity, the openness, and the courage to embrace your authentic, evolving self. Jung's profound therapeutic approach underscored a vital truth. Withdrawal must always be a preparation for contribution, never a permanent escape. During these profound integration periods, your focus becomes a sacred quest to develop something unique, something invaluable that you can eventually offer back to the collective. This might manifest as innovative healing practices that gently guide others through their own awakening journeys, or creative expressions that eloquently communicate consciousness in accessible, inspiring ways. It could be groundbreaking business models that demonstrate how to operate from unwavering integrity and deep purpose, or refined relationship skills that illuminate the path to authentic, heart-centered connection. It might be wisdom gleaned from navigating the complex challenges of psychological development, becoming a beacon for others. Your solitude is not emptiness, it is fertile ground for cultivation. Jung's meticulous patient records suggest that healthy withdrawal periods typically span anywhere from 6 months to 3 years, depending on the individual's unique integration needs. However, it is crucial to recognize the warning signs that withdrawal may be veering into unhealthy territory. These include a complete, sustained disinterest in human connection, the insidious development of superiority complexes concerning one's level of consciousness, using spirituality as a shield to avoid practical life responsibilities, an inability to genuinely relate to anyone not perceived as being on a similar path, and a marked loss of empathy for individuals grappling with unconscious patterns. If you are consciously using withdrawal as a powerful preparation for authentic service rather than an escape, please share your journey, the dangers when withdrawal becomes unhealthy. While Jung profoundly validated conscious withdrawal as a necessary phase, his astute clinical observations also meticulously documented its shadow aspects. Spiritual awakening, if mishandled, can tragically devolve into spiritual bypassing, a subtle yet potent mechanism used to avoid, rather than courageously engage with, the full, rich spectrum of human experience. Jung's psychiatric practice identified spiritual inflation as one of the primary perils confronting awakening individuals. This occurs when individuals mistakenly equate psychological development with inherent superiority, wielding consciousness as yet another sophisticated form of ego protection, rather than a pathway to genuine transcendence and humble service. Warning signs vividly documented in Jung's case files include the dangerous belief that one is too evolved for normal human challenges such as grief, anger, or fear. It manifests as using spiritual concepts as an excuse to abdicate responsibility for practical life areas like finances, health, or relationships. It's developing contempt for those operating unconsciously, instead of cultivating profound compassion. It's becoming subtly addicted to the perceived role of being the most conscious person in any given space, or using withdrawal to cleverly avoid feedback that might challenge a carefully constructed self-image. Jung profoundly stated, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." This wisdom underscores the necessity of embracing your enduring humanity, acknowledging that you are still a learner, still evolving, and still capable of unconscious behavior, even after significant personal development. Jung's therapeutic notes also meticulously document cases where individuals became entrapped, addicted to the perceived safety and control of solitude, using withdrawal as a cunning avoidance of the challenging yet profoundly enriching reality of human relationships. He termed this hermit neurosis, the tragic mistake of confusing isolation with genuine enlightenment. Healthy, purposeful withdrawal invigorates and energizes you for eventual, conscious re-engagement. Unhealthy withdrawal, conversely, becomes progressively more isolating, leading to the debilitating grip of depression, anxiety, and a profound disconnection from your own essential humanity. Jung adamantly advocated for seeking professional guidance during major psychological transitions, viewing it not as a weakness but as an act of profound wisdom and self-care. His letters to colleagues consistently emphasized that if you are experiencing a complete inability to function in normal social situations for extended periods, persistent, pervasive feelings of superiority, or deep alienation from all other humans, using spiritual concepts to rationalize avoiding all life responsibilities, experiencing depression, anxiety, or panic that fails to improve with solitude and practice, or harboring grandiose beliefs about your spiritual mission or unique specialness. These are clear indicators that you may require professional support to navigate your awakening in a healthy, grounded way. Jung himself, despite his unparalleled genius, humbly relied on the insights and support of colleagues and mentors throughout his own arduous developmental process. Jung's profound clinical experience unequivocally revealed that genuine individuation, the journey to wholeness, invariably leads back to the heart of human community, yet from a profoundly more authentic and integrated position. If your awakening journey is diminishing your capacity for love, connection, and service to others, then something essential has gone awry in the process. Jung wisely taught his patients to regularly engage in a powerful self-evaluation. Is my solitude deepening my capacity for authentic love and selfless service, or is it merely fostering isolation and judgment? Healthy, conscious withdrawal feels like a sacred preparation and a profound integration. Unhealthy withdrawal, conversely, manifests as an escape, a subtle avoidance of the very life it seeks to transcend. The return path, re-engaging consciously. Jung's therapeutic records beautifully illustrate that withdrawal meticulously prepares you for a fundamentally different, more profound kind of social engagement. One born of authenticity rather than performance, rooted in selfless service rather than personal need, driven by meaningful contribution rather than mere consumption. When you are truly ready to re-engage after deep integration, Jung's treatment protocols wisely recommend a gradual, gentle process. This honors both the depth of your personal development and the varying readiness of others for authentic connection. Begin with low-stakes interactions, environments where you can practice being your authentic self without the burden of performing or the impulse to fix anyone. This might gracefully unfold as meaningful conversations with strangers who hold no preconceived expectations of who you should be. It could be engaging in volunteer work, where your contributions are given freely without the need for external approval. It might mean immersing yourself in creative communities where authentic self-expression is not just tolerated but deeply celebrated. Or it could be stepping into professional contexts where your unique, conscious perspective naturally adds profound, transformative value. Jung's meticulous case studies reveal a profound truth. Post-integration social engagement feels utterly transformed because your core motivation undergoes a magnificent shift. You move from the often anxious striving to get something, approval, validation, a sense of belonging, to the liberating joy of offering something. You offer your authentic presence, your hard-won wisdom, your capacity for genuine connection. This radical shift dissolves anxiety and performance pressure, for your self-worth is no longer tethered to the responses of others. You are free to offer your luminous, authentic presence, allowing others the sovereign choice to decide if they are ready to receive it. Rather than attempting to force change within entrenched, unconscious systems, Jung's keen observations reveal that awakened individuals often choose a more powerful path. They courageously create alternative systems, living blueprints that beautifully demonstrate different, more conscious possibilities. They build businesses that prioritize the holistic well-being and authentic contribution of their employees. They pioneer educational approaches that deeply honor individual developmental paths. They forge communities founded on mutual support and genuine collaboration rather than sterile competition. They champion healing modalities that address root causes with profound wisdom, not just fleeting symptoms. They embrace lifestyle approaches that gracefully sustain both personal flourishing and the vibrant health of our beloved planet. Jung's extensive research into group dynamics powerfully demonstrated that conscious individuals catalyze change, not through forceful activism or fervent preaching, but through the quiet, profound act of modeling alternative ways of being. When you operate from a place of genuine, integrated awareness, you subtly yet profoundly give others permission to courageously explore their own authenticity. This creates what Jung termed morphic resonance, a beautiful, energetic ripple effect where changes in consciousness gently spread through communities without direct teaching or overt persuasion. Your individual development, therefore, contributes to collective evolution in ways you may never directly perceive. Jung's therapeutic insight was truly visionary. Today's hermits are, in fact, tomorrow's wisdom teachers. Those who are withdrawing now to meticulously cultivate their consciousness are preparing to compassionately guide others through similar profound processes when the collective is finally ready for a widespread awakening. Jung's profound final insight regarding conscious re-engagement centers on the delicate yet powerful art of learning to sustain your luminous awareness while participating within imperfect systems. This requires cultivating unwavering, clear boundaries about what you will and will not unconsciously participate in. It demands developing exquisite skills for offering your authentic presence without becoming overwhelmed or absorbed by the unconsciousness of others. It necessitates fostering robust support systems with kindred spirits who share your deep commitment to conscious living. It calls for regular, diligent practices that help you process and clear any unconscious material you inevitably pick up. And most importantly, it means remembering that your primary sacred responsibility is maintaining the integrity of your own consciousness, not coercing or demanding the awakening of others. If you are learning to re-engage consciously after a period of withdrawal, you are choosing conscious contribution over unconscious participation. A powerful declaration. The collective awakening vision. Jung's ultimate therapeutic vision transcended mere individual enlightenment. It embraced the grand, awe-inspiring scope of collective transformation, a gradual, magnificent evolution of human consciousness itself. This profound shift unfolds as individuals courageously undertake their deep inner work, and then with purpose, lovingly contribute their hard-won developments to the larger whole. Jung's groundbreaking research into group dynamics revealed that consciousness awakening follows what modern researchers now term critical mass dynamics. This means you don't require every single person to awaken for collective transformation to occur. Instead, you need a sufficient, vibrant number of individuals operating from genuine integrated awareness to create a powerful, irreversible tipping point. The beautiful souls quietly stepping back from society to diligently do their inner work are not abandoning the collective. They are, in fact, integral to a natural, sacred process, meticulously preparing humanity for its next glorious developmental phase. Conscious individuals serve as living, luminous bridges, spanning the gap between the current cultural paradigm and the boundless emerging possibilities. Through the very fabric of their lives, they powerfully demonstrate that different ways of being are not only possible, but profoundly practical, sustainable, and deeply enriching. This journey isn't about retreating to create utopian communities separate from the world. It is about courageously showing how consciousness can be embodied and lived within existing systems, gently yet profoundly transforming those systems through their authentic, integrated participation. Jung's insightful studies of cultural change beautifully illustrated that true transformation is often a generational symphony. The parents who courageously withdraw to cultivate their consciousness lovingly raise children who grow up naturally, assuming that authentic living and conscious relationships are not abstract ideals, but normal, accessible possibilities. These children mature into adults who, from their place of psychological maturity, consciously create institutions, forge relationships, and establish cultural norms that are deeply rooted in wisdom rather than unconscious patterns. Thus, today's hermits, in their quiet dedication, are laying the foundational stones for tomorrow's conscious culture, a legacy of profound hope and evolution. Jung's compassionate clinical approach profoundly emphasized that each individual must consciously choose their unique, sacred relationship with this grand collective awakening process. Some are deeply called to withdraw and cultivate consciousness in the quiet sanctity of solitude. Others are powerfully called to transform existing systems from within, acting as agents of change. Still others are drawn to build vital bridges, spanning the divides between conscious and unconscious communities. None of these paths hold superiority over the others. Each is indispensable. The collective organism of humanity requires individuals operating consciously from all positions: hermits cultivating ancient wisdom, culture workers bravely transforming institutions, bridge builders facilitating profound communication, and pioneers modeling breathtaking new possibilities for living. If you have been feeling this profound, undeniable pull to withdraw, to gently step back from unconscious social participation, Jung's timeless research offers a powerful validation. You are recognizing, on a soul level, that humanity desperately needs individuals who have bravely done their inner work to help navigate the immense challenges and glorious opportunities of our collective awakening. Your withdrawal is not an avoidance of life. It is a sacred preparation for a far more authentic, profound version of it. You are not abandoning humanity. You are cultivating something essential that humanity needs, something it does not yet know how to create. Remember Jung's luminous insight. Consciousness withdrawal is a temporary, vital recharging, allowing awakened individuals to return and offer a profound, authentic connection. Your stepping back is not an escape. It is a magnificent evolution. Not merely personal evolution, but a courageous participation in humanity's gradual, glorious awakening to more conscious, compassionate ways of being. Embrace your unique journey. If you are ready to honor your authentic path, whether that involves a period of sacred withdrawal, a conscious re-engagement, or something uniquely your own, know that your journey matters. It matters not just for you, but for the intricate tapestry of us all, as we walk this path toward greater consciousness and authentic human connection. May your path be illuminated and your spirit soar.